In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire using this very simple piece of metal that they call a hammer. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about building your own house, saving a ton of money. So be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. So before I begin the breakdown of this math you see behind me, I'm just going to let you know up front that I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just some guy on YouTube explaining my theory. Okay, so before we get started here, I'm going to drop this hammer. And if you look here, this is the average price of a house, okay? So in America, it's about $200,000. So it's a common concept that whenever you build a house, it's half material, half labor. So if you break it down, so in a $200,000 house, we got half labor and half material, okay? So we got about 100,000 and 100,000. So with that being said, let's do the math here. So if half is labor and you got to borrow 3% loan at this time, interest rates around 3% for a 30-year mortgage, you're going to be saving plus 3% here, okay? So that's going to be the money you save by not borrowing straight off the bat. And right here, we're going to be losing 3%, okay? So those pretty much cancel out, and that's going to be a strong concept to think about here soon, because you're going to be more or less living in this house for 2 years rent-free. And it's going to be tax-free too, from my experience that I've done, and I'm going to explain to you how that works too in just a minute. So the housing market has been bringing about 8% return, okay? So that's about the national average right now is about 8% return. So this is going to be an important concept too, because that's going to help generate wealth in that 2 years passively without you really having to work for it, which is really important. Whenever you can make wealth happen without working for it, that's really important. But we're also going to be doing this labor piece, which that's going to be work. So we all know that. All right, so there's a concept called the home sale tax exclusion that I have exercised, and more or less I'll explain to you in, really easily. You live in a house for 2 years as your primary residence, and when you sell that house, you do not pay any capital gains tax. So you more or less save whatever capital gains is, which is 22% right now for short term, and long term it's about 15%. So we're going to be saving that money on taxes by living in it for 2 years. Very important. So let's think about this. So you have a house, 200,000, saved this much if you build the whole house, all the labor yourself. When I say all the labor, if you've been watching my channel, you know I go through step by step how to frame, how to do, I'm right now doing plumbing, how to do siding, how to do this, how to do that, because that's why we're saving this amount of money. That's very important. And if you live in a housing area that houses are going for 400,000, this is going to be double the numbers you see here. So you're going to save 200,000. If you can get the house done in a year, that's awesome. You just made 200,000 tax-free if you live in it for 2 years. So how's this going to help us become a millionaire? Well, let me break it down for you. So we know we borrowed $100,000, okay? And that $100,000 became this amount, 200,000 plus the 8% annually on that 200,000. So that ends up being 132,000 we actually made by the time we took 100,000 that we saved by doing our own labor. That comes up to 100, and then 8% of 200,000 gives us the 32,000. So we made this in 2 years. So that's very important, because that's going to be the key to generating this wealth, like I was just saying. So not only did we actually more than double our money, is we also had, we're going to put a little star there, so that's a good point, and we also had no rent or no mortgage that was going to waste because we were actually making money with it, but there was no rent for the 2 years, which that is again huge, because most rent costs around $1,000 a month easily in most areas, especially for a house as nice as you're building here. You're going to be looking at well above $1,000 a month. So that's a big deal too. So those are the key points. So let's think about this even more. If we do this 2 to 3 times, sorry, I'm trying to write from an angle, so my handwriting's all messed up. So if we do that 2 to 3 times, we know going to be mortgage, this is a big deal for me, mortgage free at least after you do this 2 or 3 times. But here is the big deal for me anyways. So we will have $1 million after you do this. This will blow your mind. Only 8 to 10 times. So I don't know about you, but if you've been in construction long enough and help people build houses and all this, you have to build way more than 8 or 10 houses to add up to $1 million. So yeah, of course it's going to take time to go through and build the house and then live in it 2 years and do that over and over again, but it's clearly possible. So this is not a get-rich-quick scheme by no means. This is going to take a lot of time and dedication and learning and trial and error and learning about the real estate market and that kind of thing to get to this level. But the key takeaway is you need to make sure you stay focused, and if that's really what you want to do, you got to stay into the real estate market, into the housing market, and just figure out what is going to work best. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, and this is not financial advice, but you do not overbuild in the area you live in. So you want to do contractor grade building material. You want to do contractor grade flooring. So you can get away with regular hardwood floor and tile and that kind of thing, but don't upgrade to that $6 to $8 to $10 flooring. You want to make sure you do contractor grade cabinets, contractor grade everything, but make the house have curb appeal. So spend some extra time maybe putting some reverse gables, reverse dormers on your houses and make them look really nice. So I hope that helps you. Please comment below if you have any recommendations or any advice for anybody out there looking to do this kind of thing. So I hope that helps, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace. So if you look here, we're going to double our money every 2 years by doing our own work, building our own house, okay? So we're going to double the money. In this video, I'm going to show you how to become a millionaire using this simple piece of metal that they call a hammer. And if you're new to this channel, my name's Josh. This channel is all about building your own house, saving a ton of money. So be sure to subscribe, ring that bell so you get a notification every time I release a new video, and hammer that like button for me. That's all I ask in return for making this video. So before I begin this video, I'm going to start off by saying I am not a financial advisor. I am not anybody you want to take financial advice from. I'm just some guy on YouTube explaining how to become a millionaire via my experience.